Out here at Rafa Ranch this morning, and you can see one of the feeders behind me, Twinkle Toes right here, curious about what's going on. Several years we went back and forth with different types of feeders, and kind of settled on these 55-gallon drums. They seem to work okay. A lot of options out there. A few years ago, we were at the American Baptist Association in Kentucky, and so that is Horse World, and we got to see a lot of different ways that they feed their horses there, and it's pretty sophisticated. That's really not for us. We also got to see, just north of the meeting, was a place called the Ark Encounter. And this was a full-scale representation of Noah's Ark. Now, you talk about feeding some animals, and they had some really interesting systems that they surmised that Noah and his family used to feed all these animals. It was extremely intriguing. When you head up there to the north part of Kentucky and you buy your ticket and you enter into the ark, there's only one door, and it's through the side. In Genesis 6:16 it says, "Put the door of the ark in its side." And so that's exactly what they did, and there is one door. In Genesis 7 we see that Noah entered into that ark with his family, and when he and those animals entered in, they were safe from the judgment of God. Now, God gave everyone else 120 years of warning. Noah preached to them. They would not listen. There was 1,600 years of sin that had amassed, and God said that was enough. He gave them 120 years. They did not listen. And so judgment came upon the world in the form of a flood, and it flooded the entire world, and that's why you see some of the highest peaks have there's debris from the ocean at those highest peaks. Now, what does the ark represent? Well, it's a type. It's a type of Christ. When you think about the fact that it had one door into the ark, and you had to enter through that door that you might be saved from judgment. When you hear the words of Jesus in John 10:9, and he says, "I am the door. If anyone enters in by me, he will be saved." This shows you this type. Peter also talks about this in his writings. The question is, have you entered in through that door? Jesus is the only way. He makes that abundantly clear. We see that maybe other people during Noah's times had some other ideas about how things should be. It didn't matter what they thought. If they weren't on the ark, they suffered the judgment of God. We can have all kinds of ideas about how we think things are, but it doesn't really matter. If we haven't went through that door, we're not going to be able to face the second judgment, where God is going to judge the world by fire. So, Jesus is the way, the truth, and the life. Jesus is the door. Have you entered in through that door? You need Jesus. God bless you.